Taking accountability is one of the first steps in creating meaningful change, because without taking an honest look at the state of your life and your part in the bigger story, you will never make those necessary shifts to grow into the person you're meant to become. Taking accountability for your life shows a deeper honesty with yourself and is actually claiming the power you have to create whatever you want. Welcome to Journeys Through Change, a podcast that inspires women to let go of the fear and say yes to possibility. I'm your host, Noelle Van, an author, creator, and empowerment coach who spent years in corporate America helping innovators and leaders ride the waves of change with ease and grace. I now work with women to step into change and unleash the power they have to create a life they love. Whether you're contemplating a change in your career, relationship, health, lifestyle, or anything in between, nothing's off the table. I'll be offering up simple insights to help you manage the ups and downs of change and sharing interviews with successful women who took a leap of faith to create the life they knew they were meant to live, sharing their wisdom, advice, and all the juicy lessons they learned along the way. So get cozy in your favorite comfy chair and let's get started. I have a topic today that I think is one we can all relate to, and that's accountability. We don't always embrace it, but most of us are pretty aware of the importance of taking accountability in our own lives. It's often something that becomes more apparent with time because as we get older, we begin to see more clearly how everything is connected and how our decisions create our outcomes. We start to recognize how the choices we make cause our circumstances, and as we mature, it becomes easier to accept that we have a greater hand to play in shaping our lives than we ever felt we did when we were younger. But let's face it, it takes a certain level of maturity to put down our defenses and actually own what's happening in our lives, to take on the responsibility of where we find ourselves today, whether that's a place of joy and fulfillment, disappointment and regret, or somewhere in between. The fact is, taking accountability is one of the first steps in creating meaningful change, because without taking an honest look at the state of your life and your part in the bigger story, you will never make those necessary shifts to grow into the person you're meant to become. Taking accountability for your life shows a deeper honesty with yourself and is actually claiming the power you have to create whatever you want. Think about it. If you created all that got you to this point, you can certainly create any future you want as well. Taking accountability also means you no longer get to play a victim in your life. When you stop the cycle of victimhood, you begin to gain back control of all that you desire. Now, I totally get it. Sometimes we simply don't want to take it all on. We have all at certain points in our lives felt compelled to place blame on others or felt we had been wronged in some way. But I'm here to tell you, victimhood is what will keep you stuck. Because being a victim holds you in a place of helplessness and avoidance, and it will keep you there. Taking accountability is you showing up for you. When you can finally say, this is my life, and yes, as they say, it's all my fault. Yes, all of it is. And that's the good news. It automatically puts you in a place of power to change whatever you want and keep the rest. This is a blessing to some and maybe a curse to others because it kind of shifts the paradigm. It awakens you to your true power of choice to create whatever you want, as well as the power to dismantle anything that's no longer serving you. You're finally placing yourself in the driver's seat in all aspects of your life. Now, this does an interesting thing. It elevates how you play the game altogether. Owning your power and accepting all of the circumstances that come with it is the best way to step into a higher level of living. A level that no longer makes excuses for the outcomes in your life, even if they aren't what you want. It's a level that pulls you toward the opportunities to look at your life with total honesty and take those brave steps towards making it the best it can be. Now, we all know this responsibility can take time and a deeper sense of honesty with yourself, but the beauty of it is it's all about choice. It's making the decision to empower yourself to accept more and attract more into your life. It's funny, accountability is actually one of the first things you learn in early recovery because it's a time when you're shedding those old behaviors that are so deeply rooted in dissociation and avoidance. And as your honesty and courage start to emerge, you become someone who owns up to your past, present, and future. You're no longer numbing out or hiding from life. And because of this, you're forced to look at everything in a brand new light. And once you can look at your life with greater honesty and humility, the more you accept it for all that it is. So how can you become more accountable and less a victim in your life? There's a couple of ways. The first is acknowledge your feelings. Recognize and validate your feelings of being a victim when that comes up. It's important to understand and accept these feelings without judgment. Observation is the first step toward healing and change. Second, identify patterns. Reflect on the situations and behaviors that contribute to your victim mentality. Look for patterns in how you respond to challenges or setbacks. Are these stories that are coming up from the past that you're just regurgitating and are on autopilot? Awareness is key to changing them. Third is take responsibility. Shift your focus from what others have done to you to what you can control. Taking responsibility for your own actions and choices makes you stronger. This will help you acknowledge the power you have to accept your part in all of the outcomes in your life. Number 4, and this is the most important, it's all about perspective. Change your narrative. Reframe your experience by focusing on what you've learned and how you've grown. Viewing challenges as opportunities for growth and resilience gets you closer to taking accountability and stepping into a more powerful version of yourself. Keep in mind that we are all a work in progress, but these simple practices can start to break these habits of victimhood and set you on a path to becoming a stronger and more capable creator in your own life. That's it for now. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Journeys Through Change podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or really wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow us and leave a review if you've enjoyed this episode. And share it with a friend or on social media to spread the good word, so more women like you can find us and join in on the fun. For more information on the podcast or Day by Day book, go to livedaybyday.com.